those of you to the left. My name is Jake, this is Abby, Chandler, and Luke. We're going to tell you a little bit about our study abroad experience. We were part of the Rural Development and International Food Business trip to France and Switzerland. On this trip, we visited Dijon, France, Vevey, Switzerland, Nyon, France, Lyon, France, before we finished our trip back in Paris, where we began. And obviously, before we started this trip, we all had preconceived ideas of what we'd see and experience abroad. I'm sure, well, next slide. Sorry. You know, we had like exciting ideas about what we'd see and the food we'd eat and the people we'd encounter and the different adventures that we'd experience. And all those were really glamorous ideas, but when we actually ended up there, it was a little cultural shock. Next slide. So, not everything was exactly how we'd imagined it, obviously. I mean, our advisors had warned us about what we would see and run into, but obviously it didn't really sink in until we actually got there and saw the people, and there was language barriers. It was hard to navigate. Right there's a picture of the metro in the city, and it was all in a foreign language, so obviously it was difficult to figure out where we were going. And some of us almost got pickpocketed by gypsies. So it was like a whole array of different things that happened. But it was an amazing trip. There was, you know, different weather conditions. The rain, it rained a ton in France. So different things overcome. But besides that, what we did find, the trip ended up being better than we could have ever imagined. And the culturally rich individuals who lived in these foreign countries were friendly and extremely passionate about their craft. And we learned so much from them, and Abby and Chandler are going to go into a little more detail about what we actually saw and the things we learned there. So I'll pass it over to them.
Next slide, please. Hello, I'm Abigail Martin. I'm a student at University of Kentucky studying agricultural economics. And I just want to first start off by saying how grateful I am that I was given the opportunity this summer to travel abroad with such great faculty and such great students. This trip was so memorable that I will forever always remember it. So I'll be talking about the Runches Market and mustard, of course. So the Runches Market, well, the Runches Market is the world's biggest open-air market. And there's five sectors of Runches Market, including fish, meat, cheese, eggs and butter, fresh cut flowers, and fruits and vegetables. Walking through, let's see, what was my favorite part of the Runches Market? Well, walking through the fruit pavilion was absolutely my favorite part of the tour. I just remember walking through the aisles and seeing how many different foreign fruits and just fruits I've never seen before, and made me realize how global the Runches Market is. You can go to the next slide. So after the Runches Market, we headed to Dijon, France, where we saw Dijon mustard. And we visited a local farm where we saw farmers give us information about how they use traditional methods to harvest their mustard seed. So then after we saw the farm, we eventually went to Le Monardier Ballot Mustard. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But we saw the factory, and the tour was amazing, but one thing I'll take away from it is that mustard smells absolutely horrible when you first make it. It made our eyes water, it was so bad. But on the bright side, we were able to see how many different flavors they can make from just, you know, one mustard seed. And this one factory exports to countries all around the world. So I'll look at Chandler. She'll talk about our experience while we're in Switzerland.
Next slide, please. So just by starting off, my name is Chandler Purdom. I am a junior/senior econ major here at the University of Kentucky. And I also just wanted to say how appreciative I am of the staff and faculty that went along with us to the trip and planned everything. I know that it took extensive background work to go to all the places that we went to and all the things that we were able to see. So thank you, Dr. Woods and Ms. Flores and Dr. Davis. I know that she's not here tonight, but thank you all very much. So just by starting off, I'm going to talk about Switzerland, the Bay of Switzerland. By far, it was my favorite part of the trip, by far. I think when we got off the bus, I remember Ms. Flores walking off and just saying, she looked at Dr. Woods and said, "Tim," she was like, you told me how beautiful it was, but she's like, this is far beyond anything that I could ever imagine. And she was absolutely right. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So some of the things that we did when we were in the Bay of Switzerland, the first thing that we did was go and see the Heron's cattle. We took about a 30 to 45-minute bus ride up into the Swiss Alps, which was absolutely gorgeous. There was snow on the top of the mountains. Just the landscape was beautiful, like anything I'd ever seen before. So these cattle, we actually went to a smaller family-oriented farm up in the top of the Swiss Alps. And they basically fight the cattle. The women's cattle seem to be a little more aggressive. So the locals there get really, really excited about it. So they battle each other to see who will be the queen. And then she will kind of lead the rest of the cattle through, you know, the hills and everything. And it's neat to see because all the other cattle kind of know that she's like, you know, the queen. And it attracts all the locals. It's a huge event. You know, just talking to the people that the family-owned farm, they were excited about it. So it was really neat to kind of see their perspective on it. I guess one of the personal things for me while we were at the Herring's Cattle was just seeing that, and even this goes for most of the places that we went, just how family-oriented each, you know, place was, each farm was, which was something that was surprising to me. You know, I think we kind of had this idea in our head, I think all of us did, that it was going to be big manufacturing. You know, you think of, you know, wine, chocolate, and cheese, you think big over there, you know. So it was interesting to see that it is local, it is family-oriented, which is something that, coming from a rural area myself, I was like, you know, that's kind of neat to see, you know, kind of compare and contrast. So that's the Herring's Cattle. The second place you can go was Nestle. We went to the Nestle headquarters in the Bay, which was located, you can kind of see, I like this picture because you can see where it's located. It looks over Lake Geneva, and the Swiss Alps surround it on all sides. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was really interesting to go and talk with agribusiness leaders there. They're the largest food company in the world. It was very surprising to me to see what they did just besides the food part of it. They're very into sustainability, reaching out to their farmers and people that outsource their products and making them educated on how to be more sustainable, you know, making them more aware about the environment. So that was something that, you know, just opened up my eyes, that I had no idea that this large corporation, you know, just hits in every single entity. And just realization of future outcomes. I think it was at Nestle where I realized just how far an econ degree can take you. It does not limit you, it can take you wherever you can imagine. And this trip definitely did that for me. It just made me realize no stopping you with an econ degree. There are no limitations.
Okay, so, yeah, basically, so after all this, you know, we showed you the fine aspects of all the study abroad, but why does this matter? Why do you care? You know, why do we do this? Beyond the application of the sustainable agriculture practices that we learned, why does this matter and how does this influence us studying abroad? Well, these answers are all very important because if we can't answer them, then why should the university continue to fund these, you know, great trips for these students? Well, you know, after we went, we examined our experience and the answer was clear. Coming back, we looked at everything and we saw that we went from every stage of production, all the way from the farmers, all the way up to the executive level, even to the produce or the product in the market where they're selling it. And we noticed that all these Europeans, they were very enthusiastic and excited about what they're doing. They loved their careers. They were excited about their work and they were passionate. They couldn't stop talking to us about how, you know, great it was and why it was awesome and why we as students need to go into that field that they were pursuing and they were doing. Moving forward with this, we as students, we want to love our careers and jobs just as much as they did. We want to feel the passion and the enthusiastic nature that they do for their career. And it seems that sometimes in America we've stopped and we've like stopped. We haven't felt that. We dread Mondays, and then we also look at, you know, we're like, we faint at the sight of work. And we're like, oh, you know, the protocol is almost to avoid work, and that seems bad. You know, we can reverse this though. Looking forward, we can make our passions our work, and we can make, you know, what we love our work. As students, we can change this. and as individuals, we can work towards our goals and passions and dreams. The point is that what we want to get across to you tonight is that if your passion and what you're working towards is not your goals, then you can change that. It's never too late. Life is what you make of it, and your career should be no exception. So if you're not passionate, you're not loving the work that you should do, you can change that. It's never too late. Oftentimes in America we chase money, and that's a problem. If we stop chasing money and we start chasing our passions, the money will follow, and our fulfillment and joy will increase. We'll love our work, we'll be inspired, we'll work harder, we'll work faster, we'll be more efficient, we'll do better. You know, we all have gifts and talents that we possess, and when we don't use those, we're doing a disservice to ourselves and our country. Basically, what we want to put out to you all tonight is that these Europeans, they love their work. They were so inspired, and they love telling us, you know, more about their product, what they're doing. They were so passionate and excited. It was like, okay, enough. You know, we had heard enough. It was like we were time to leave. So we just want. It's like we can emulate that in America. We can bring that back to America. And that's not saying that not everyone does that, but there's far too many of us that just settle in these careers that are mediocre, and we're not passionate about it, we're not excited about it. Here in America, we need to strive to do what we want. We need to strive to do what we love. And we'll improve efficiency, we'll improve, you know, the standard of living. Overall, the standard of living is, your quality of life is not on how much money you make, but how fulfilled and happy you are with your work. So, we just want to strive to make, or tell you all tonight that if you use the gifts and the talents that you have, that your quality of life will improve. And we as America can emulate our counterparts in France and Switzerland. So it's our goal that here in America, that us as students and us as faculty will find work that is fulfilling and that we love and that we enjoy just as much as our European counterparts. Thanks.